if you're the type of person to say that you are just being realistic, I hate to break it to you, but that's not a thing. You can't be a realist, you can't be an optimist, you can't be a pessimist. Or let's phrase it differently. You can only be relatively optimistic, relatively pessimistic, and relatively realistic. If we have a so-called positive scala, all right, this is the most positive side and this is the most negative side, all right, and somewhere in between have something neutral, I'd say. The realist is gonna say, I stand around here. All right, that's you. In your own reality, this might be true, but if another person stands around here, which in your case will be more positive, this person's reality sees you completely different because in their reality you are more negative. So therefore, you are the pessimist in their reality. Every single person technically has their own scala, all right? The zero is always their own reality. If a more pessimistic person stands next to you, he's gonna think you are too positive, and you're gonna think they're too negative. And they again have their own scala, and therefore their own reality. The only reason why some people might call themselves positive, optimistic, pessimistic, or negative is because people, or the majority of people in their life, have been either on the left or on the right side of the reality. So, the more people call you optimistic, the more you're gonna believe it. But technically, you're just in your own reality. All of this means we can create our own reality as well. And another example why we don't actually know what reality is the fact that we don't know if we perceive the same colors. This is a very philosophical thing that has been around for years. We don't know if we actually perceive the same colors. Sure, we know there are people with color blindness, whatever. All right? In my reality, and in yours as well, this is what we call these colors. However, we cannot prove that my red is the same red that you're seeing. I can also not prove that the green you call green is my green in my system. And the same way, my blue, I cannot prove that you see the same blue, but we always call it a certain name, and we always referred to that exact color with that name. Alright, that's why we don't get in conflict with each other. The only thing we do know for sure is that color 1, color 2, and color 3 are different from each other. However, for the people that are colorblind, they will think that this is the same color. Sometimes there are people who just can't differ between two colors. So what about animals that might see even less colors or even more colors? Do we know that one color is just one color, or is it two colors that we can't differ from each other? If you are an optimist, you're already winning in life. Because no matter if you're an optimist or a pessimist, technically you have just two options or two outcomes of certain scenarios. So the pessimist thinks, okay, I failed. The second option is I succeed. For the optimist, however, it's not I fail, it is I learn. And the second option is, again, I succeed. Now, this section here, statistically, will always appear way more than this section here. So the optimist is in the advantage with this mindset because learning is technically also a type of success. So there's no failure here. There's no failure. The failure for the optimist is when you think you failed. For the pessimist, however, they will see that they have more failure than success, which technically the optimist has as well. But in their reality, it's all success. Now, what's with the realist? The realist is one of the two. There is no realism.